Hi everybody, today I'm going to show you 2 different ways to make balloon dogs. I've been making balloon dogs in my shows for years, and I make 2 different kinds. This is sort of the iconic, just standard balloon dog. Looks like that. And this one is the French Poodle. This is my favorite. This is the one that I make most all the time, just like this. The great thing about this one is that if you give it a longer neck, it could be a llama. If you give it even a longer neck, it can be a giraffe. It can be a horse. This is kind of the catch-all mammal. But this is so clearly a dog. This is so clearly a French Poodle. So I'm going to show you how to make both kinds of these things. And it's not hard. As a matter of fact, if you're an uncle, if you're a dad, if you're a grandpa, if you're an aunt, if you're that cool mom, whatever, I feel like everybody should know how to make a balloon animal because it's pretty easy and it's every kid wants them. So let me walk you through it. Here we go. These are the balloons you want, okay? Qualitex 260s. All right, so these are called Qualitex 260s. Why are they called 260s? They're called 260s because when you blow them up, they're about 2 inches wide and they're about 60 inches long. So just easy to remember. Qualitex 260s, if you go to your balloon supplier, your party store or whatever, honestly, listen to me on this one. Don't get any other brand. Qualitex, they're not sponsoring me. I'm just telling you because I know other brands just break. They're unreliable. Qualitex never break. Well, I shouldn't say that. They do break, but they're just way better latex or something. They're just good quality. So they come in a bag of, this is like a bag of 100. I don't know, maybe it's like $12 for a bag like that. And then you pull these things out. Now, what I do in my show is I blow these balloons up with my mouth. That's probably the hardest part because tying the balloon animal is not that big of a deal. But if you don't want to blow it up with your mouth, you get this. But here's the thing, you gotta stretch these out. Here's what it looks like if I blow it up with my mouth. It's not always pretty. I have to stretch the end. By the way, you gotta stretch these things. And I make a bit out of this in my show. I get a lot of comedy out of these things, actually. And then what I do is, I don't know if you remember the trumpeter, was it Dizzy Gillespie? Who is the guy who puffed his cheeks up real big? You got to put air in your cheeks like this. And now I'm not using my lungs, I am just using my head and my cheek muscles to force that air into the balloon. And then I use my lungs. This is long enough to do a poodle. I might want a little bit longer to do the standard dog because we're going to start with the standard dog because that's easier. I'll add just a little bit more. Okay, so that's plenty. You know, we got something like this. It's maybe about halfway full. And then what I do, just to kind of keep it from breaking, is I back off and I'll let a little bit of air out. So now it's just a little bit more pliable. Okay, so then you just tie your knot just like you do on any party balloon. All right, so now what do? Let me put my camera in a different mode and I can show you this a little bit easier. Okay, so I'm gonna take the balloon and I'm gonna start twisting. Now what I do is I hold, you're gonna just pinch. What you do is you just pinch off a little section. You already let some of the air out of it, so you shouldn't be afraid to do this. You just pinch it. You go like that. Okay, and so then I twist forward with my right hand. Whichever way you go, you're always wanting to make sure you're going the same way for the rest of the balloon. Okay, so I pinch that off. Now I'm going to pinch off a section for an ear. This will make sense in a second. And now I want to make another section for the ear that's the same size. So I've got that kind of sausage in the middle. I'm going to make another sausage of the same size, just like this. So now I've got 3. They could all be the same size. That's perfectly fine. But you want to make sure that this and this, they're going to be like the ears. So I'm going to fold these together. So I'm like in this position. And now I'm twisting the same direction again. And so now I got a little head. There he is. straighten him out a little bit better. Okay, so it's starting to look like something now. So same thing. Now I'm going to do the neck, and I'm going to twist just like this, same direction. Make sure I'm always going the same direction. And now I'm doing a leg, so I'm going to go a little bit longer. So I'll go like four inches or something like that, because it looks like I got plenty of balloon to work with. Okay, so now I'm here. I'm going to pinch it off again. And now I'm folded. This is review. This is the same thing as I did before. So now I've got, this is the neck, this is one leg, and this is the other leg. Now I fold it at the neck, just like that. So these are the two legs, one leg, two legs. Okay, now I twist in that same direction again, and then I just sort of orient the head like this. Okay, so we're half done. Perfect. Okay, so now I do it again. This is the body. I'm gonna make another leg, probably about the same length. I'm gonna make another leg, same length. It looks like this. Nothing's going to come undone because I'm twisting the same way unless I let go of the balloon. So you got to make sure you're always holding on to the end. So now I'm going to fold it where the feet would be, and this is going to be where the hip is, right here. This is the hip joint. So now I'm twisting like so. Boom, he's done. Now, like I say, when you're doing this, you don't always have to blow these things up too big. I always blow a balloon up about halfway, maybe even less than halfway, because as you can see, maybe I made the tail a little bit long on this one. But if you hand this to a kid, they don't care. They've never cared. I don't think a kid has ever cared on this thing. So there, that's the standard dog. Iconic, you know, you see this everywhere. I mean, this is when people talk about getting a balloon dog, this is sort of the expectation. So this is really great. Okay, so now how do you make the poodle? I'm gonna let's grab a yellow one here. And since I blew that last one up, here's the thing again, always stretch these out. I cannot blow these things up with my mouth unless I stretch them really good. And even while I'm blowing it up with my mouth, I'm stretching kind of while I blow it up. I'll just do it with my mouth again. Probably said I wasn't gonna do that, but I'm gonna do that. Okay, I'm filling my cheeks, and then I'm trying to use my cheek muscles to push air into the balloon. This is not pretty. Okay, once you get that little ball of air, you're like golden. Now you use your lungs. Okay, so now I'm just spraying air all outside of the balloon and into the balloon. Probably not what you want to hear during a pandemic, but that's what happens. So now I just haul into the balloon like that. Now I'm going to make it short. Okay, this is a short one. I'll make a little bit longer. And I'll back off just a little bit of air just to make it a little bit more pliable. Perfect. He's gonna be so cute. Okay, so look if I make this same nose, just like before, so that's the nose, I'm doing the same thing. I'm always twisting the same direction. I always supinate. Supinate is the strongest way to do it. But now, I'm going to make, here, let me grab this guy. I'm gonna make that head, okay? So it looks just like that. So I have to make, instead of making two ears, I'm gonna make like a bump, a little bubble, and a little bubble, all the same size. Okay, so the nose is longer than the next three. So the next three are gonna be, I'm just trying to make it like a little rubber ball. Okay, it's almost circular, okay? And then I'll do that 3 times. Okay, so you got bubble, 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 just like that. And now you fold at where the nose and the body are, and then I'm going to twist those together the same direction too, just like so. So now I've got a cute little French poodle head. And the great thing about the French poodles are, well, you're gonna give it a neck, and you're gonna give it, here's what I love. You give it a leg, and then a little foot, which is just like that little ball again. And now you're just reversing the process. So I'm gonna make a foot right next to that one. So it's like long, short, short. Just think Morse code, I guess, here. so now I've got that. This is another thing I like about the poodles, is because you got long, short, short, long, long, short, short, long. I'm trying to point with my nose. Okay, so now I'm going to put those together right at the neck and then right at the body, and then again twist in the same direction. The reason I like this is it separates the dog's feet a little bit. It just sort of looks like a little bow-legged, cute, funny thing. These have more dimension to them. I just think that's cool. Okay, and then I'm kind of running out of space. I maybe could have made him a little bit smaller, so I'm going to give his back legs less space. So these are really small. Okay, so what I do, I just made basically 4 balls the same size. And this is his body, just because I'm running out of air. I could have maybe put a little bit more air in this. It's always an estimation. So there's his front legs and his back legs, which is sort of fun too. This one is a little bit more dimensional right here, because I think I put just a little bit more air in this one. And then what I also love about the French Poodle design is the little powder puff tail. So how do you do that? Okay, this is great. There's a couple ways to do it. I actually had a little kid show me another way to do it. I couldn't believe it. and it works, but it's gross. All you gotta do is take your hand and squeeze around it. Squeeze around the very end like this, and then you're going to take your other hand and squeeze this air up into the balloon, just like that, up into the tip of the balloon. And so then you got this tail, you know, this tail that has no air in it, and it's pretty cool. I think that's great. Now let me just show you what a kid showed me one time. Because if you give this to a kid, they're going to wonder, oh, what a cool little tail. What if I squeeze it? Well, when they squeeze it, the air does go out of it. And so then I've often had kids come back up to me and they say, hey, can you put the air in the tail again? And so then I do. All you got to do is go just like that. They think it's almost magical, you know. But I had one kid come up to me, and I thought this was a pretty inventive kid. I thought he came up to me and he said, well, I can do it. Watch. And he went like this. And he just put it into his mouth, and then he sucked. And it comes out inflated. But now you got a big wet powder puff tail at the end. So anyways, that's how you make 2 different kinds of dogs out of balloons. You can get this little pump at a party store too. These are probably about $5. This one's also made by Qualitex. Man, I'm really promoting Qualitex. You're welcome, Qualitex. But what's great about this is it blows on the intake and on the outtake. Okay, so if I put a balloon right on the end here, so you see it is on the end of the nozzle. Now it's going to blow whether I am releasing or not. And I can make this as long as I want it to be until it's about 60 inches long. I still have some remaining there. So if you were to make a sword or something, you know, some kids really like these things super long. And if you're just doing the demo right now, I'll just let go of it. And there it got stuck up in the corner. So anyways, I hope you guys had fun with this. I hope you practice it, and I hope you can make use of this. You're watching Hey Pete, It's a Creative Life. If you like this content, you guys, if you like creative stuff, that's what we're trying to do on this channel all the time. Different kinds of creative ventures all the time. Why don't you consider subscribing it? We would really appreciate that. And if you are a subscriber, thank you. We really appreciate that too. But until next time, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.